Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Welcome to The Mike O'Mara Show. We're enjoying our second decade of the show that has become a daily routine for thousands of listeners in great places like Old Orchard Beach, Maine, Lavernia, Texas, Malala, Oregon, Wheaton, Maryland, Rolling Hills, California.
Woo!
What?
Wheaton represent.
Whatever. Rolling Hills, California, and Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. That's just some of the places. We appreciate you sending these to Rob every week so that we can spotlight the places that, you know, even if you don't have a house there, if you're driving through.
You see the sign.
You know,
Like, oh, there's
yeah,
Wheaton.
That's what we do. Hey,
go faster.
we can't waste any time here because we have a very special guest on the show today. Adam Ferrara is with this show today, and Adam is joining us from, I'm going to guess, I like the backdrop. I'm going to guess either Los Angeles or New York, just because I'm
Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. You're on Sesame Street. You look good, Adam. It's
You look
great.
great.
We now do so many of these Zoom interviews that it's fun to see people and not just talk on the telephone. And you, my friend, I'm so jealous of you. You not only you get to play a cop on TV, but then you get to have the job where you know all you do is go out and drive amazing automobiles and then wreck a Cadillac and have that and then you get to work with all these wonderful, and now what the hell are you doing a podcast for too? I mean, all right, I'm trying to feed my effing family here, Adam, and you know what, and now you've got a podcast as well. I don't all you funnier people than me with podcasts, and it's named 30 minutes. What, 30 minutes you won't get back? Is that what it's called?
First of all, Mike, good to see you again. If you're jealous of me, I suggest you raise your goals. And why am I doing a podcast? Oh, I'm sorry. My mortgage is free, O'Mara. You're absolutely right. How dare I have a family and bills? It's magical. Oh, wait a minute. He's on TV. There's no problems for him. He's in the little box.
Yeah, the magic box, the little TV box, the disc jockeys all over
Magic
America.
green. Yeah. Oh, God, what does he do? Oh, he craps gold. He's fine. He's all right. Don't worry about it.
I know. It's I've always found that to be like restaurant owners when people said, "Man, look at that crowded restaurant. That guy must be killing it." And unless you're in the restaurant business, you don't know. Let me make it up to you, Adam, by giving you your first plug. Adam would not be here unless he was plugging something. He's going to be at the Arlington Cinema and Draft House April 30th and May 1st, and that's the big story having you on, because when I see this, I finally say to myself, my God, we may be creeping towards normalcy, and we may be able to go out and see a great comedian perform with other people. How long? When did you start getting back out there? Is this brand new? I don't know anything about what the performer's end is. Have you just started doing this again?
No, I've been out. I got so this thing hit March last year. I was at Chicago Improv, and they went, "All right, go home." So we went home, and you didn't know how long it was going to last, and then it got really bad. Right. So I got a call to go to actually in April. I got a call to go to Florida, because apparently Florida is just like, we don't care.
That's
where Mike is, yeah.
Where I'm talking, I'm speaking to you from Florida. They do not care if you die down here at all.
They just don't care. Look, we got enough people, and there's more coming. So
we have your money. We have your money. Come on out.
Yeah. We have your money. We have your grandparents. Go ahead. I dare you. So I get my magic calls. It's like April. It's like just at the height when it's hitting, right? And I get a call to go do this outdoor gig in Florida. And I went, "No, I'm not going with the out of your mind. You're not watching the news." Then they call back. And Mike, apparently I have a price.
Nice.
Amen.
Nice.
That's what it's all about.
I'll be honest with you, boys. I wish there was another comma in it. Apparently there's not. So I said, I'm not going. My manager said, they'll give you this much. I went, all right, I'll be there. So it was easy. What I was pleased about was I was worried about the air travel, but that turned out to be the easiest thing because I actually called the airlines and got somebody on the phone. I was like, hey, what time's the flight? And they're like, say, man, what time can you be here? We got planes and we ain't doing it. Can you bring us beer? We're not doing anything. So I got there, right? And they give you the thing I'm wiping everything down, Mike. I'm wiping down the seats. I got the mask on. Oh, yeah, I'm wearing a condom on the plane. I don't trust anybody. So I'm sitting there. They don't sell the middle seat. There's a woman behind me just coughing.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And
So
all the
pissed
heads
off.
are turning around, and everyone's looking. I felt so bad. We all felt bad for her, but she had to die. So we.
I would hate that so much.
Oh yeah, I felt because she's like that's the thing. Now you cough on a plane, you could light yourself on fire. No one will turn around. You cough on a plane, they're gonna come at you like villages in a Frankenstein movie. They just turned on this woman.
Yeah,
So-
it's that time. It's that what we're going through right now. You cough anywhere and you notice it now.
Yeah. So I put the little air thing on, right, and I'm trying to point it at the lady. Just to block
Keep the germs away.
To combat it.
It's not moving quick enough, so I start doing this, and I don't want to embarrass the lady because but I'm like this. I'm like, as I'm trying to cover it, like I'm about to have one of my spells. I'm just trying to get rid of it. She's coughing, and so my wife read an article that if your throat is moist, the germs can't get you. It didn't sound right to me either, boys.
I'm sitting there processing that, going, "What the hell is that?" I have no idea.
She's reading all kinds of articles, and she's like, and plus, that's a conversation you don't want to get caught in. Did you know that? Yes. Oh, where did you read it? Did you know that? No. Either way, I'm in a conversation I don't want to be in. At the end of it, I got to buy cough drops. So let's just pick this up. I'll buy the cough drops. Whatever you say is fine, and we'll move on, right? So I buy the cough drops. While I get to the airport, and I bought Ricola because just in case it is true, I think the germs can hear the horn. Yeah.
You can do your Jerry Lewis impression too with the
cough
lozenge.
drops.
Like Jerry always had the lozenge when he was behind. God rest his soul.
Yeah. So I buy the cough. So I have the cough drops. I turn around to the coughing lady. I said, "Excuse me, I think you might need these." And she reaches in the bag with her germ paw. She's just,
Oh no!
you know what? Just take them all, lady. She's like, "Really? Yes. It's a long flight, and please shove them all in your mouth. You carry a monkey." Right? So she takes the cough drops. Right now, I'm hearing this. Like she's plunging a sink behind me. I'm like, this woman has no oral awareness at all. I'm trying to sleep. I got the mask over my mouth. I got my baseball hat over my head. Right. And now the drinks come out. She's chewing ice, and I'm hearing. I'm dreaming about Nazis marching into France.
Nazis marching into France, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what's going through my head. So I get to the gig, and I do the gig. And it was an outdoor gig, and everyone was very respectful. I got in the car, I came home, so I did that gig, and then I didn't do. Then I did a drive-in. I did the drive-in gig.
What time of year was the Florida gig? When did you do that again?
It was right April. It was like a month after, maybe a month and a half after. It was the height of Florida.
Amazing.
And they didn't care.
Well, yeah, it was safe though because the president said we were going to be okay by Easter, so you were going to be okay in April, I
They
think.
were here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right. The driving gigs were they were successful though, weren't they? Some of these driving gigs I heard went
you know
well.
what? I connected with the people. I did one in San Diego for the Boys and Girls Club, right? So I went down there. I was on this big screen. First of all, my mole looked like a manhole cover. I was just on I was on stage. I turned around. I saw myself. I'm like, oh, I got to get that checked. Oh my god!
Look at that thing. Can I see that? Can you turn to your left a little bit so I can get a look at that? It's a beauty mark.
It is.
It's just a beauty.
It's like Marilyn Monroe.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Marilyn Monroe.
You look good though. You look good. You look thin. You look like you're in good shape. You've been working out during the pandemic.
This is first of all, I discovered things because I've been home so much. There's a fat, naked man that lives in my mirror.
I can relate to that.
Oh, This son of a bitch looks just like me, and he's getting bigger. You know how I know when I'm gaining weight? My fat cheek mutes my iPhone.
Oh no!
That's so true.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
I was actually. This is irony. I was ordering a pizza. That's how bad it was. Little pizza joint in my. They know it's me, right? So they get extra care of me, right? So they give me extra. I said, no. Tell Rocco it's for me. I want the pepperoni and the salt. Hello, son of. I'm fat. I was like, you guys got ice cream? I don't feel good about myself. My fat cheek hit the Grubhub app the other day, and a bucket of chicken just magically showed up at my house.
That's progress right there.
Well, you look good. At least the camera I'm looking at, you look fine.
Yes.
I'm fat. Rob's fat. You're not fat. Oscar's not fat. That's the reality
I
of
looked a
things
lot
we
skinnier
have.
last time we saw Adam. I was like at least 25 less.
Well, it's just I can't tell you though how cool it is to think that. Let me give the. I want to make sure that I let everybody know what's going on here because his comedy album Adam Ferrara Scary in Here is available everywhere. Also, go to Arlington Cinema and Draft House, and then you're going down to Richmond. Rob, did you ever go to that club, the Sandman?
I think
Comedy Club
it's a
in
new
Richmond?
club, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, it's only a couple weeks old. They called me and said, "You want to come down?" And my wife went, "Yes, he does." So okay, so I'm going. It's in Richmond. It's called San Comedy Club, May 6th through 8th. Is that
Yeah,
right?
6th, 7th, and 8th. Yeah.
And you know, I was watching some clips of your show, and one of the shows you closed with. I'm glad you mentioned your wife because one of the coolest things I ever saw anybody do. It's comedy. It's stand-up comedy. You do shtick about marriage. You do, it's what's happening with your life. But you said some very nice things about how you outkicked your coverage as far as your bride was concerned. You said that in front of eyes, which I thought was just really, really cool about that. So I wanted to ask, since you referenced your wife before, everything's good on that front? Because usually when I see that from an older clip, I'm like, well, how are you? Well, we got divorced 2 weeks later.
How are we now?
That was the way it is. Now
She's beautiful. Mike, my wife is stunning, and I talk about it because it's the truth. And I know she loves me because there's no money. I mean, there's money, Mike, but there's no "I love you in spite of you" money. There's no there's no Scott Rudin money. He's fat and abusive.
Ma, I love him.
she loves you for you.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
loves
Love
you
him,
for
Ma.
you.
Are you comfortable with it? Yes, we sleep on the checkbook. It's very comfortable. I love him. So,
My wife is doing great. She's
good.
She's on the podcast with me, and that's one of the things, but I'm driving her insane because I'm here, and she runs the house. Look, Mike, she runs the house, fellas. I don't want to run the house, but when you notice stuff when you're home, I'll say, just trying to be helpful, like, honey, why don't you do it this? I said, you know what? You're so busy. I'm going to tell myself to go to hell. It's one less thing you have to do.
Stay out of the way.
It should be. You've learned it. How did you were you married before, or is this your first marriage?
No, this is the first time I lived with a girl for like 7 years. Apparently, I'm a serial monogamist. So we lived together for like 7 years, and then that relationship ended. I met my wife. We got married, and that was it. I saw her. I went, she's pretty. Then everything went black. Next thing I know, here we are.
But she's lovely, and I think that you seem very, very happy about that. But still waiting till you were a grown up. You were how old when you got married?
Oh God, I was 30s. I was in my 30s when I got married. I was on the road. I was on the road most of the time, So because I started doing stand up when I got out of college, I told my parents, "Well, we've done one of your things." So then I went on the road, and I met my wife, and then the rest is history. And I learned the difference between have to and want to. When I met her, I mean, you guys are going to Google her after, and you're going to think,
I've already know. I know she's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She really is, and she's.
I better lock this up before this kid changes her mind.
Yeah,
I love it. Good. Get in the car. That was it.
Speaking of cars, with your run on Top Gear USA, which was there, a lot of people ask you about that because it was a wildly popular program that you were on when you were hosting Top Gear. And you, at least from the episodes I watched, you always seemed to be not only the point guy because you were the pro, you were the broadcaster, you were the guy that was the comedian, you knew how to do that, but you also were it seemed to me, the sacrificial lamb for Adam's going to drive I think I'm right about this. Adam's going to drive the car through the tunnel. Adam's going to get in the Cadillac and go on the the dirt track, which was you got out of that car when you did. There's an episode of Top Gear that I want to tell our listeners about that Adam gets done. His three buddies that he did the show with were running a track to kind of celebrate moonshine running and stuff like that. Was that the episode? And Adam's the last one to go, and Adam does this dirt track. One guy has a Camaro or a tiny little car. Adam has a Coupe de Ville. Oh no! That he runs this track, and he got out of this car. He did a lot of dangerous crap during this show. You got out of that Coupe de Ville, and you looked like you had been almost destroyed by this automobile. That was amazing. That was amazing.
The ground, Mike. It was basically so we're good tracing moonshine. Sometimes they would go through the woods to outrun the cops that were chasing them. Right. So I had a '76 Coupe de Ville because listen to me.
Great car.
Yeah. So this thing's 5,000 pounds. It's on Spalding bald tires, right? It's got one gear left, right? So I'm driving this thing, and I know if I stopped, I'm never going to start again. So I had to go through the whole obstacle course. There was a water hazard, and coming out of the water, there was this big hill. I almost rolled it sideways, and then there was this ramp because it was a dirt bike track. So I come out of the water, and I'm in first, and I just punched it because I needed the momentum to get through the water. I went up the track. I went up the big ramp, and I'm in the air for a long time.
Oh, my God. And this is a heavy vehicle right here. It's amazing.
5,000 pounds, and there's all kinds of violence and stuff going on. As soon as I hit the air, it got real quiet. And I remember I just heard like... So I'm in the air like this, and we'd shot in North Carolina. So all I heard was, and deep in the woods, I heard, yeah! I hit the ground. It was boom. The front of the car came up. It looked like a banana. It was a yellow Caddy, and it looked like a banana because the whole front clip was up. I couldn't get out of the door because it pinched the door closed. I had to come out of the window. Luckily, that was broken, so I could just crawl out the window, and everything was just smashed.
It was so that
I've
show.
seen that episode. It's fantastic.
You were always the guy that did that. What is the fastest? Well, I'll ask you this question: the fastest you ever have gone behind the wheel of an automobile? It was probably because of the show. But what is the? I know you Lamborghini was one, and we'll move on from the Top Gear. But I just have to ask these questions.
First fastest I ever went is 188 in an F12 Berlinetta in a Ferrari. And it was a 212 mile an hour car, and I've never gone 200, but I wanted to. But here's the thing: it's not just like you're doing a straight speed run. I'm talking to the camera. You're still working. So,
Oh wow.
so I'm doing like a $180. I'm talking to the camera. I'm in the Ferrari, and this is a stunning car.
Is that the one that was bouncing? Is that when you were bouncing in the tunnel?
No, that was the one in the tunnel was a Viper, Dodge Viper. That was 147 in the tunnel.
All right.
But no, the Ferrari was just, and the Ferrari just because like it was looking at me like, take him away, he bores me. Just this thing.
So much fun though.
Oh God, I hit 187. I'm talking to the camera, and my butt sensed the speed wobble. You know, At like 140, that's when the car starts getting light, and you'll feel it. It'll come up a little bit. You feel the air underneath. That's where all the aero comes in. So around $188, it's like I felt a little speed wobble, and I went and I hit a brake cone. We usually set a brake cone up, which is like where you have to start braking because you're going to run out of road to bring the car to a stop. So I lifted at 188, but that's the fastest I've ever gone. I did 180 in a Superleggera. I did 180 in a Lamborghini. That was on a runway. which is cool because it's smooth and everything.
Right.
But you still
Lamborghini. What's the bet in your opinion? What's the as far is it still as far as for a rich guy that could buy anything? Would the Lamborghini be the gold standard as far as like a car that you can go into a dealership and buy?
It depends what you like. You know, a Lamborghini is like they're made by Audi now, so they work, which is fun. But, but the thing about the Lamborghini is, it's like the loud, fun, drunk uncle at the wedding. You know, he's in a yellow suit, he's kissing a bride right on the mouth. You know, that's the guy. The Lamborghini just shows up, makes an entrance. Ferrari is just stunning. I mean, a Ferrari is just really. It's a great, and Aston's a great car. There's a bunch of Mercedes that I like.
What are your thoughts on the Subaru Forester?
The lovely car. I broke 45 this morning.
I owned a Subaru Forester for a while.
You guys don't even look like lesbians.
That's a Maine car. That's the Maine car. Yeah, that's the state car of Maine. When you see that Forester or any Subaru. That is, go up to Maine sometime and see how many Subarus you see. Have you ever spent any time in the great state of Maine, Adam Ferrara?
Have I been in Maine? I don't know if I've been up in Maine. You know who's from Maine that I did a movie with was Andrea Martin. I thought she was from Canada because of
me too, because of SCTV, right?
TV, yeah, but she was born in Maine.
I know you had her on the podcast. How great was that? I mean, because that's someone.
It was great. Yeah, we did a movie together. She did the podcast for me, and this was a great story. So I start doing and because everyone's home, you know, you could do this. We could Zoom and stuff. So I was asking her. I said, she said I wasn't going to take this movie. I'll tell a story. She goes, I wasn't going to take this movie that we did together. My friend said you were funny, and I'm working with you. You should do it. I said, oh, that's so sweet. Who's your friend? They said Nathan Lane. I fell off the chair.
Wow.
I fell
one of
off
the funniest human beings on the planet, a guy that's been on your podcast.
And that's the story. So while I'm doing it, I said, do you think Nathan might, I was so timid because I'm just a huge fan. She goes, email him. So I emailed him. He emailed me right back. He's like, I thought you'd never ask. And he did it. He was so sweet and so nice. And I got to talk. I was so nervous. I got to talk to him because, it's like, what he has a place in my head, and he has no idea he has that place in my head, Yeah. So I got to fight through the fanboy to talk to him. But that's been the great thing about doing this show, Mike, is I got to talk to these people that I didn't think would want to do it, and sure they'll do it. Like Leno did one for me, Kevin James, Edie Falco did one for me, Joe Buck, the sportscaster, did one for me. Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon from PTI. It was great. I had an FBI profiler on who worked on the Bundy case. That was creepy.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, and you do it's a 30-minute, right? It's just a 30-minute on and done.
Basically, here's the show. When I sat down to figure out what I wanted to do, I wanted to communicate a feeling. When I was a kid, the best night's sleeps I ever had was when I was upstairs and heard my mom and dad and their friends downstairs just laughing and talking about life. I don't know why that feeling always comforted me, but it did. So I said, okay, that's what I want to put out into the world. So the show opens with me, my wife, my two friends. We talk about life and a topic about what connects to the interview. Then we cut to a one-on-one interview I've done with a celebrity, which is 30 minutes. And then like any good group of friends, we talk about them when they leave. So
so do we.
Yeah, that's it. We talk about when they leave. Like, how old do you think he really is? He's not that thin. It's a tight headshot. Probably got a big ass. So we talk about them when they leave, and I get to talk to all my friends. And so my Mother's Day show's coming up, and I got Louis Anderson. He's an old friend.
What a wonderful human being! Really,
great.
Yeah, he's absolutely wonderful.
Baskets. So that's the Mother's Day show.
The mother from Baskets, you got him. And you've got Frank Caliendo coming up also on your podcast.
Yeah, Frank's on this week. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I got, who else do I got coming up? Lenny Clark from Rescue Me, my pal Lenny. Roy Wood Jr. from The Daily Show's coming up. Who else did it though? Oh, Anthony Edwards did one for me. And I called him Gooch the whole time. That was fun.
Now, will you be, as far as you're doing the stand-up again, you've got the podcast right now, any other, I know I tell you, when you try to track what Adam Ferrara has done in his career, it's difficult because there've been so many things that you've done, the acting, the comedy, everything else. Anything else that's stewing right now? I mean, it's getting back to normal with Hollywood and all that?
We're hoping everything's coming back to normal. I just did an episode of NCIS during quarantine, which was great. You got to get tested for that. So CBS sends me to get tested, right? So I was doing everything. I'm wearing a mask, the whole thing. I go to get tested. You walk in to the testing facility, and there's like, little stalls, and there's guys in hazmat suit. It's like, there's Cher from Silkwood. They're hosing you down. So I turn in, I go and I line up. The guy in a hazmat suit hands me one of those long Q-tips. I go to reach it. He's like, wait. I'm like, what? He goes, don't get too close. I'm like, oh, gee, okay, fine. So I take the Q-tip. I wipe it in my mouth. I go to hand it back. The guy reaches out, and I went, wait. He's like, what? I go, you don't like it, do you?
You know what's amazing, Mike? The guy in the hazmat suit was Scott Pelley. He's handling all the testing for CBS.
The anchorman doing that at the same time. It's great that they're doing that they're doing the production again.
Yeah.
And did you play the grizzled Italian police officer again?
No, I played the guy they thought did it. So you go into the interrogation room and you get the, that kind of thing. So they take the test, right? So I got to drive home, and I got a 4:00 call. So, I got a 6:00 call, but I got to leave at 4 because I got to get to the studio. So here's the deal. You go home and you wait for the results. They email you and the studio, the results at like 2 a.m. And then if there's nothing detected, the studio emails you a QR code. You put it on your phone. They beep it when you go in the studio, and that's what they do. Cool. So I'm driving home, and it's still a test. I'm doing the right thing, but you're worried. Back in my head, I went back to being 16 years old, just knocking on my girlfriend's bathroom door like, is it blue? Is it blue?
Same vibe. Same vibe.
Like, shut up, I'm trying to aim. I'm peeing on the stick. Right? So I'm terrified. I'm laying in bed, right? Because I'm going to bed early. I got to get up early. And I start feeling warm. I'm like, this is all, it's in my head. I'm doing this to myself. I'm trying to talk myself down. Right. And then I'm getting warmer. I'm like, what if I got this thing? Maybe the guy gave, because I pissed off the guy in the hazmat suit, maybe he gave me a tainted Q-tip. And this is where my head's going. My dog comes up and jumps on me. Can I give this to the dog? I don't want to infect the dog. My wife gets into bed. I'm like, I got to go sleep in the shed. I can't do this to my family. My wife comes in. She was like, are you warm enough? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, I bought a heated mattress pad. I want to make sure. I go, what? You can't cook a brother waiting on results. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, my God. And you were fine.
I came in. They said nothing detected. I went, thank you, G. I put the QR code on my phone. I went. And then when you get there, they test you again. Every morning you get in, they test you. And the same thing continues while you shoot. And I shot for like a week, so the same thing continues.
Oh, that's good. We all want to get back to normalcy. We really want to do that. Listen, Adam, we appreciate you taking the time to come in here and join us this morning. I'm so glad. The idea of coming on this show, which we haven't done, having somebody who gets out there and does great stand-up, and it's just so exciting to be able to promote a show where people can go see somebody. I'm so thrilled to be able to do that, and you're the first guy that we have done this for, and I'm excited about that. And continued success. Do another. I'm just do another car show. That's my, as a fan, that's what I say to you. And talk to Rob, and Jesus, try to get Nathan Lane on the show too. I'd let you talk. Oh my God, Rob would go out of the. I'd let you do that interview. I would give the entire interview to you.
That
you
would be an amazing thing. And we should mention.
How many times have you seen The Producers?
I saw on Broadway twice, and saw them. I bought the movie the day it came out. It's fantastic. Okay. We should mention that all tickets and all information available at adamferrara.com. And you can go there and check out his clips and the whole deal. It's a great website.
You're a good guy, Adam, and continued success to you. And way to keep that Hollywood marriage going. Congratulations on
Showbiz.
That. That's wonderful.
Thank you, brother. You guys be well, be happy, and hopefully we'll laugh in person soon, all right?
Love it.
Absolutely. Sure. Adam Ferrara, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Adam.
Give him a nice round of applause. Thank you, Adam. Thanks for joining us. That is, man, that car show, what a career. I mean, to have great stand-up comedian, been on all the talk shows. He also did that, I think, one of the best versions of Top Gear I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was
I love that version because it felt so real. It wasn't just these like these icons of cars that you just like, well, are they really like that in real life? With Travis and Adam, it was just wonderful.
Wasn't
Felt
one
like
of the guys a race car driver?
Travis Pastrana?
Was a race car
Travis
guy, right?
Pastrana, yeah.
Yeah, but Adam seemed to be fearless, right?
Oh,
to
yeah,
dive
yeah,
in,
yeah.
and that's
for sure.
And really great job. We are running behind. Shocker! It's the beginning of the show. We'll get everything started, and we will come back.
Ladies, are you looking for hot singles in your area? Looking to connect with some of the most eligible bachelors and be swept off your feet and led into the sunset? Looking to find that kind of romance that can only be found in that movie Titanic? Yeah? Well, me too. But in the meantime, you can find plenty of stupid cat videos to fill the void in the TMOS Ladies Who Lunch Facebook group. Join today to get your weekly dose of stupid pictures and connect with plenty of hot singles in your area. If you count Ponyboy.
Here's to the ladies who lunch.
The best of O'Mara.
It is now time to talk mixology. With two DC legends in the game of mixology. These are two, not only, and let me tell you why I think these two gentlemen have tremendous longevity in the saloon game in Washington, because on top of being skilled at what they do, and they both are, both with behind the bar, managing customers, knowing the business, and doing it. These are two of the nicest guys you're ever going to want to meet.
True, very true.
And they're two guys that I've admired for a long time. Billy Riley is a legendary man in the bar business. Boo! And Jimmy is booing him. Jimmy's been in the business for a million years. The fastest bartender contest, back in the day, we at O'Mara's, we turned over O'Mara's to the fastest bartender contest. And, it was amazing to watch all these people get up on stage and try to put together a proper drink. And my memory of the fastest bartender contest was you're playing my jingle.
So true.
Good times.
Yeah, good times for about 3 years. Then it was just then it was the Game of Thrones of suck for the rest of the time.
I recall the first 2 years being the better of the three.
Yeah, the third year might have been the transition year.
I got the sign.
Here's the thing. I'll give you before we talk to Billy and Jimmy. Let me just say here's some advice for. All right, say you're in a really successful job,
right?
And it's not enough for you. You want more. You want to realize a childhood dream. You want to realize a dream of your father's, and you want to open a pub.
Yes.
And you say it's really important. You pick a town that has some sort of friendliness towards you.
Yes.
All right. You don't want to pick a town that wants to really see, ultimately see you dead. All right. So
you didn't feel the open embrace?
When I chose man ass
my nice ass.
I kind of perhaps made an error. Now, I don't know where else I would have gone. It was the opportunity. It was the place that was there. It was a nice room. It's where I happen to live, that area that I lived in. But, it ended up being quite the slog.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I remember.
But anyway, I could talk about me all day long.
You handed out candy at the parade and everything. It's not like you didn't try.
I was in the parade. I was so excited. The first St. Patrick's Day. I should have known when the first St. Patrick's Day, the parade ended, and 300 people walked into my restaurant, and my staff went, anyway.
But you shouldn't have charged $1 for a St. Patty's Day pin, Mike. You should have gave those away for free.
I didn't charge $1, did I?
Yes.
Did I charge $1?
And another $1 to sign it.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
I love you.
All right. Hey, pit bulls, why don't you just calm your booze-addled brains down for a second? All right. Here's the mission.
I bought it. I still bought it.
I can't believe that. That's funny. Charge $1 for a St.
I think that's a deal.
I didn't know I was going to get all the O'Mara's glasses stolen in the first 2 weeks.
Never put a logo on a glass.
No, you never put a logo. I didn't know, Jimmy. Those are some of the things you didn't teach me.
I know that I don't have any Stella Artois glasses at my house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't have any at the bar anymore.
Well, we traded.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I bet Rob's walked out of your joint with a few things. All right. Fastest bartender contest. Billy Riley, Jim Cerrito.
Hi.
Jimmy Cerrito. To create memories and superstars in the bar, club, and restaurant industry. It was started in 1981 by Kevin Spillane. Did I get the name
That's
right with that?
Yep. His
And
son
Bill
works at
Lucas.
Jimmy's. Yep.
Jimmy wins the contest in 1995. Billy.
Four.
Well, it said on your stuff, it says 95.
You better
I
speak
take
to
it up
your
with Rob.
speak to your advanced guy.
I won in 94 just to clear the record.
Well, excuse me, Jimmy, but
That's
I know
all right.
you're coming in with that attitude, and you know what? It says on my sheet you won it in 1995. Are you 100%
you know what? I
sure?
might have.
No, I won it 95. You won it 94.
Okay, so
Still
it
the
says,
bane of my existence.
Rob Spiewak, you gave me this show prep. It
And the
says
show prep
Jimmy.
was sent to me by Mr. Billy Riley.
Oh,
Billy.
Billy, you
check the
sent
show
Rob.
Another mistake.
Billy,
Billy Riley.
Billy, you sent this to.
1 point
This is
deduction.
fun.
It's a
I'm
1 point
enjoying it.
deduction.
This is a great. This is a
worse than
great
breaking a
Friday
glass.
show. Jimmy Cerrito wins in 1995. Billy Riley.
Terrible.
All right. Jimmy wins in 1994. Billy wins in 1995.
Terrible time in my life.
But
Why was it a terrible? Why was
Oh
it?
my God! Well, you know, in '88, I get a phone call. I'd just gotten in the Bartender Hall of Fame, and I'm on the cover of a couple magazines, and I get a phone call from this child star in Manassas, Virginia. He's at a place called KC's, and he says, "Hey, just wanted to let you know, my name is Jimmy Cerrito, and I'm gonna beat you in everything you ever try to accomplish in this business."
Yep.
And I'm like, go clean,
Including drinking.
go clean some glassware and mop some floors and call me back in a few years. Well, not only did he succeed in everything he said he was going to do, he's got the hottest bar going and earned it. So
He does. He does.
I
And
have
Jimmy,
to. I have to
yeah.
capitulate that he did. He beat me
Billy,
in
let
everything.
me ask you this. Let me ask you this
Yes,
question.
sir.
Thanks,
and,
Billy.
what do you think the key? I've always said that one of the reasons that my place that didn't linger, you got to be on campus, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to be a sole proprietor and run your own joint, it's why chains like go by the by quite often. You got to be there, right? The best ones, don't you find in DC are the where the owners are on the premises,
Sure,
right?
it's all the single men or single women because there's no
Married 27 years.
backdrop except for Jimmy, whose wife completely gets it and understands it.
She
but
does.
you need to be there.
Mo
you
gets
need-
it. She does.
Yeah, Mo gets it for sure.
Maureen Donahue Cerrito. Mike.
That's right.
MDC.
Maureen understands Jimmy, but Jimmy's
right.
good. Jimmy's good at balancing it. I
That's
think,
right.
And,
Well,
and he's
Jimmy's
good
good at getting other people to be on campus
That's
for
correct.
him.
And Jimmy has a rock star cast behind him. They're committed to the day to day and get it too. It's like it's their home.
Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. With Jimmy, and one of the things about Jimmy is you get a guy like Justin, one of his great bartenders over there.
Original.
Former
and Justin
winner of the fastest bartender contest,
Mm-hmm.
Justin.
And
Peralta.
it's not. You have to be successful because you're not going to get servers and bartenders to stay if the place is not doing a business. You're not. It's just not going to happen. But beyond that, I mean, you can have a successful place with a revolving door. Why do you think Jimmy holds on to his people for as long as he does? It's a legitimate question. I'm curious about that.
It's a fabulous question. Jimmy Cerrito is the unique individual, much like Dick Heidenberg, Jody Taylor, the Nortons and the Rainies from Great American. It's a family atmosphere. It's loyalty. It's fun. It's training. It's being a part of the excitement that's going on. It's always having stuff going, and it's honesty. It's a fabric that is very hard to create.
Unbelievable.
Plus, when I fire people, they show up the next day.
That's right. And you know what? If you need a dishwasher, he washes dishes. If you got to cook, he cooks. There's nothing below the process, that has to happen. And people just don't leave that.
And I drank. That's what I did in my joint.
That's okay.
Thank you, Billy.
I have a question for Billy. Is that
Can I just say, in 1990, before you ask the question, Rob, in 1992, Billy Riley, is it 92 that you won the fastest bartender in the world
he lost
contest?
that year.
That year. No. That was, yes, sir. It was a shoot-off of
In
the
Vegas?
contest. That's correct. It was taken to Vegas by a company out of Baltimore, David George and his people. And they utilized the format as part of a 5-stage, the best sports bartender in America. Now, I didn't give a rat's you-know-what about being the greatest sports bartender. There was a segment in there for the fastest, and I wasn't going to lose that. That was what I
Out
needed.
of 912 contestants, he wins fastest.
So that's
bartender.
actually my question. Actually pertains to that. How in 3 years can you slide from the world's fastest bartender to losing to Jimmy? How does this happen?
It was terrible. I don't want to even talk about that part of the segment anymore. It was the worst time of my life. I lost to him. My fourth second place finish to Jimmy Serino.
How did you finally win?
This fulfillment is, I finally won the next year because I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't have anything to drink. I got there. I was like, this can't happen again. And I actually have the scoring record at 59 out of 60 points. I was leaving no doubt.
But Billy, leading up to the year you won,
yes,
I took you to the back bar at Sully's in Chantilly.
Practice.
And we practiced for about 8 hours, and I coached him. I coached him to win.
That's right.
And I'm sure there was no drinking that went on that when you were practicing.
Yeah.
Always
Sully's sheet balanced out really good that week.
The place is closed.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, my band played there. Anyway, we'll take a break.
Hey TMOS listeners, Dan O'Brien here to tell you that when I'm not busy wearing tight sweaters or getting Oscars coffee, I'm subscribing to the TMOS Bonus Package. The TMOS Bonus Package is the best way to support the show. You get an additional uncensored show every week. If you love listening to me laugh in the background during regular shows, you'll love hearing me do it on the bonus shows. It's an amazing deal, so make sure to buy the bonus package today. I promise you'll be laughing as hard as me at the bonus show, or my name isn't
Dan O'Brien. The best of O'Mara.
By the way, after the fastest bartender contest concludes, Billy Riley will be starting his world tour with love songs, coming to a theater near you.
You don't bring me flowers anymore.
If you want more information, it's the fastest bartender contest.com. Nice cough, Jimmy. Jesus Christ.
He's killing me over
here. Oh, my God.
I wish you were here, Mike, because the studio does not smell like Kahlua.
Jimmy, how are you? I haven't even talked to you yet.
I'm
how
doing
are you?
well. Hey, happy birthday, right?
Well, a little early, yeah.
Yeah, early,
the big
but-
one, the big one's coming. So, yeah, the big 6-0.
I never thought I'd be friends with a guy your age.
I don't know what to make of that fantastic.
Do we still hang
compliment.
out after you turn 60?
Oh yeah, but not as late. I tried.
Sorry.
I tried. I'll tell you, Jimmy. I tried after your joint, and I did one thing. I don't think you know this, but you'll be proud of me for doing this. So we leave the night of Katie's wedding party at Jimmy's Old Town
Good
Tavern.
times.
If you get to Herndon, Virginia, you got to go to Jimmy's, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of our listeners for. Wow. I mean, decades now have stopped by to see Jimmy from all over the country.
Part of the
because
pilgrimage
of this show.
And
It's
you know,
great.
that was the only thing Julia asked for after graduation. She says, "What time does Jimmy's open? I want to go there for lunch." That's our place.
Yeah.
She loves
my daughters were so bummed that we went to the Chinese joint on Friday night and that they weren't able, to make it to Jimmy's after. It's so funny. My daughter graduates college, right?
Yes.
She's got college parties to go. And she says, "Dad, where are you going?" I said, "We got a little thing at Jimmy's." She goes, "Oh no, you just graduated." She loves your joint. It's really after I leave, and I'm there with Rob, and then Rob has his kids, so he leaves early. Then Oscar and Todd are ramping up, and then when I left, I perhaps had more than Mrs. O'Mara. And but so she was the DD. She was my designated
I remember.
driver.
I was on the bench with you waiting for the car.
She asked me to navigate, right? She asked me to navigate. And I put in, instead of going back to the hotel, I put in the coordinates for Mario's in Falls Church.
Took her out for lunch.
And she yells at me, and she's screaming at me. And I passed out, apparently, in the car at Mario's. I'm just like leaning back, sleeping. She gets back into the car. The next thing I know, I kind of walk in, and she said, "You shouldn't have taken me there." I didn't know that she had purchased anything. She gets into the hotel room, whips out the sub from Mario.
Oh, yeah.
And, she was
that's
nice
why
enough to
she's
give me
great.
that.
That's because I forgot to slide
her-
you subs in
Absolutely.
the window. It was usually what I
She'll
do.
never forget that. She will never forget that day.
my
Where Jimmy
bad.
comes running out into the street with 2 subs in his hands.
Yeah,
as
when they're
we're
headed to
leaving
the hotel.
to go to right up the street to the hotel. But it's awesome. And so
best. It was a
in
good
the
time.
world of mixology, I will tell you what I remember in having the joint is that
when you're there, when you're not there, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, you hear all the old sayings like nothing good happens after midnight. You hear all this.
I've heard still correct.
It's still,
I go home early.
It hasn't changed 30 years.
It's stunning. It's stunning. In all the years, is there anything, and in no particular order, that jumps out, behind the bar?
Does it include you?
Stop. Will you stop it? Will you behave yourself? What did you come in with this attitude today? The answer is no, it does not include me.
Here's what I think.
That narrows it down.
He's seated in Oscar's seat.
Yes.
And I think it's something to do with
the picker's seat.
It is a scabby picking seat. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask 2 questions for both of you.
Yeah.
So this is and take as long as you want because I want to know the answer. The best experience, the best thing, single thing that happened in your career as a bartender. And Jimmy, I'm asking you not. You can probably make it as an owner, but pretty much when you've been working behind the bar, and one of the worst experiences you've ever had. It can be you and Jimmy. We've been, you and I have both experienced with people. Don't go too dark on this. I'm talking about funny bad experiences.
Keep it real, though. Keep it real. I keep it real.
What are you doing? Keep it personal. Will you stop it?
No.
Will you stop it, please? Yeah, keep it personal.
I didn't do anything.
Billy, what's the best thing that ever?
He always yells at me, Billy. I told you.
What is the best thing that ever happened? Shut up, Jimmy.
There are
what's the best thing that ever happened?
So many great things. A lot of it is when, either movie stars or important people like the radio guy, Michael Mira, comes into your bar.
Will you stop,
with
Billy?
the pin?
Will you
okay,
stop
no,
it?
I'm just saying
with the pin.
With the autographed $2 pin. But when people come into your bar and they come in to see you, or they're recommended to come see you, and you are on your game and you do the things that you do. I've had so many of those great experiences, having traveled around the country with Jimmy and the different things that we do when we go places. And I think that the best possible experience is, getting messages or people coming in and saying, hey, I was at Billy Riley's bar. I met Billy Riley and we did great things and I can impart something on them. So it's, amazing things. Some of the best things that happened and the funniest things, which kind of ties into the bad things because they're good and bad always at the same time.
Thing.
Sure, I got when you had a boss just like Jimmy does, every few months you got to rattle the cage. You got to say, listen, you're effing up in these areas. Your costs are bad, things are good,
right.
and we need to tighten it up. I worked for a guy named Jody Taylor, who was one of the greatest bar owners.
What was the bar? What were the bars that he owned?
Black Rooster Pub.
Always color
at 19th and L. Just fabulous.
Black Rooster Club.
Fabulous dude. If you meet him and know him, you'll know that it's just a legend. He also was the area manager for the Blackie Auger. That's Black Rooster, Blackie Auger, Lulu's, right? Samantha's.
Oh yeah, of course.
Hey Penny Lion.
A great place to meet friends.
Right. Lots of great things. And he said one time, we're sitting there, costs are bad. Riley, none of this tonight. No backwards margaritas. Don't grab the upside down stuff and all of the things that you need to have happen. I'm telling you right now, don't do it.
What's grabbing the upside down stuff?
The the expensive liquors. And I would get up on my bar and the whole crowd would turn around backwards for backward margaritas. And I would just pour them. Like lemon
into people's mouths,
right? So, and the cue for that was Dead Man's Party. Dum dum, it's a dead man's
party.
Right. So as soon as I hear
for a more great song,
that's right.
I want to be at that party right now.
That's right. And it was a giant
tequila go right up your nose.
You could watch the entire crowd, of 100 people just turn around and start backing up to your bar. Right. So,
yep,
we would do that. That's right. That was it. So I'm on the bar. I'm pouring these things, and I hear a beep every time I pour. Beep. 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 I'm like, what the hell? I turn around, and he's behind me going, he's
This is the owner. The owner's behind
That's
you.
right.
Okay.
And he's hitting the $10 button every time I pour a margarita. Beep, beep. And he goes, I told you, you son of a beep, beep. Jody Taylor, the greatest.
He's the
So
man. I
as
love
bad as it is, it's hysterical, you know.
Oh,
Now,
my
before we
God.
move from that, you said that you glossed over it. You said when you serve someone famous, you serve a movie star. Who would you say is the most famous person you've ever made a drink for?
You know, the list.
What pops to mind?
Morgan Freeman.
No
Morgan
way.
Freeman.
Oh, that's cool.
You know,
Billy
I've had,
Riley, I'm very happy to be here with
That's
you.
right.
What
You
a
know?
fine tequila shot you pour. $10 a pop, ladies.
That's right.
Mr. Freeman, what is the citrus fruit that goes in a margarita?
That's right.
I believe it is a lime.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jimmy, what about you? I know, and Jimmy has a marketing sense where
Yes.
Jimmy has been. There was something recently. Somebody came out and profiled you. It was either a newspaper article or
It was
something.
the TSA, wasn't it?
No.
TSA profile.
No, I think it was Rolling Thunder. They did a big article on Jimmy's.
They did
for our ride. We
Rolling
had
Thunder.
315
The Jimmy Cerrito.
bikes.
The big national story for those of you around the country that heard this was that they are no longer going to have Rolling Thunder, and Jimmy will maintain the Memorial Day ride to the wall from his joint, which I think is terrific. And you got,
Awesome.
you didn't do this to go out and get publicity. They just found you because you were one of the guys to keep it alive, and you had another great ride that I used to participate in when I was up there, and it's awesome. But you have been around. Jimmy is the guy when I was riding through Wyoming. And two men that were extras from King's Dominion or Disney World that were in the Blues Brothers uniforms.
Jake and Elwood,
Jimmy
baby.
and I are riding at 75 miles an hour on a highway in Wisconsin, and the Bluesmobile drives by on its way back to Sturgis, where we were coming from. And I look in my side view mirror, and Jimmy's hands are off his handlebars on his motorcycle going, oh my God, it's the Blues Brothers. You are someone who likes pop culture, and you like famous people. So I'm curious, who's the most famous person you've ever dealt with in besides the Hanson brothers in your illustrious career?
I love those guys.
Shocking.
You know, when I was a young bartender out at Michelli's in California, Los Angeles, I was very nervous. I think I was 20 years old.
That was your first bar gig, right? That place?
Yeah, that was my first bartending
That's when he
gig.
could talk about without having any repercussions.
I was actually 18 when I started bartending. You had to be 21, but I had a mustache, a big Tom Selleck mustache. So
The one I've taken from him.
The biggest name ever that sat down at the bar and ordered a shot of Cuervo was David Carradine.
Oh, it's prick.
David Carradine.
I would love that.
Kung Fu. I was trembling.
Did he call you grasshopper? Because I would love it.
That would be better if he ordered that drink.
If he did. Oh, my God.
He hung
I would
out.
imagine he
I
would
became
be
friends
high
with his
maintenance.
wife, actually. He was high maintenance, yes.
Yeah.
They're
what he
all
did.
high maintenance.
Billy, this is what he did to me. Him and his buddy, and he's wearing a big fur coat. And,
Okay.
Well, of course he was.
yeah, and we're indoors in LA. And he's got the fur coat indoors. And I'm trembling all over. He says, 2 shots of Cuervo. Okay, and I'm pouring the shots. My hands are like a 90-year-old man shaking all over. And they slam the shots, and I said, would you like another, sir? He goes, the glass is empty, isn't it?
That sets the tone. That sets the tone for you right away.
Jimmy gave me a tour. I tell this story all the time. When I was going to open my joint, the first time I met Jimmy was going over to get a tour of the bar.
Right.
And my buddy and former business partner John brought me in to meet Jimmy. And Jimmy, at the end of the tour, showed me everything. Showed me all the stuff, all behind the scenes. I was fascinated by it. It was just so interesting to see the inner workings. And then Jimmy looked at me and he took out a single dollar bill, just like he's taking out right now, and show them what you showed me and say it the way you said it, because I remember.
So, well,
this.
Mike, at the end of the day, and you can be slammed, you can have a line to get in. At the end of the day, the owner gets this much.
And I said, by the way, and he said that's if you are incredibly successful. If you are capacity, that's if you make a profit. Right. If you're able to make a profit.
And then I said, Rob, and then when the dishwasher breaks a plate, you get that much. And then when the bar. Yeah. And then when Billy Riley gives away all those margaritas, forget about it.
All right, we'll take a break.
Let's get to know our friend at KCJJ, Jim Hunter. Jim is the morning news guy and wacky sidekick on the Captain Steve Platter Patrol morning show. He also is the afternoon DJ on 99 Plus KFMH Pirate Radio. His silky warm voice and pleasant on-air demeanor have made him a radio favorite for years. And ladies, he's single. But best of all, he's a big part of the mighty 1630 KCJJ, the terrestrial flagship broadcast home of the Mike O'Mara Show since 2009. Thank you, Jim. And thank you, KCJJ. You're the best.
1630 KCJJ.
The best of O'Mara.
Get off of my lawn.
Happy birthday to you.
Well,
Happy birthday.
thank you very much. Thank you. Milestone birthday.
Yes.
Milestone birthday.
Happy
birthday. All right. Okay.
Sweet.
All right. A lot of you were biatching because we took Friday off. I usually take the Friday off around my birthday. That's what I do. I
Most
usually
people
take
do.
that 3-day weekend, so I do. And we give you a lot of content. We give you more content than I've ever given you in my career. So, you know, for the people that you don't pay attention, you didn't hear Oscar at the end of Thursday's show, make notice. But the reason we really took Friday off was because Rob had to say goodbye to his uncle and had a service for his uncle. And so that was the combination of both. We said, you know, can we do it? And we decided to do that. And Oscar was very forthright about it. And so there are always those 2 or 3 John Talamatisi, Weesey, whatever your name is, that always says, what's the deal? And
you should have seen my first response to them early in the morning.
Really?
I actually, I'm not one to delete, Mike.
Oh, did you second guess yourself?
Well, I wrote something that was very blunt.
I am very aware. Let me just tell you something. In this incarnation of the show, which we are going to have our 10th anniversary coming up in December.
Big deal.
And that's stunning to me
Yes.
that we're still alive and kicking after all these years. And I'm going to say that I understand that this form of the show, now people do want it. They want the content. They want it. They don't want to be deprived of it. Yeah, but I just like to point out that in the radio heyday, I had a very significant Johnny Carson vacation schedule.
I recall this.
We had 8 weeks a year, and we stole a 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be aware of that.
So
fact.
we're in bonus time.
We're totally in bonus time. And by the way, I'm saying this for one reason. It is summertime, and we have modifications in the schedule coming up this summer.
City.
Yes. But I do know this, Mike. If you in the classic days, if you had done this many shows that you have done this year, you could have taken the rest of the year off.
Precisely.
You could have just banked it and gone.
Exactly. So, and we are delighted to welcome someone who's TV royalty in Washington, D.C., and has been a friend to this show for a very, very long time. She is not only a stunning television personality, she is one of the best in the business. She is also cutting edge as far as technology, and she has done something for years that she started a long time ago that I find one of the most engaging things, where she takes a laptop and puts it on the set of her television programs and is able to communicate with the audience while she's working. And I have gotten sucked into that so many times where I'll say, "Hi, Angie," and it's like, "She gonna mention my name? She gonna mention my name? She gonna mention my name?" And so, but I've done that a bunch of different times. And she is this is amazing. This woman. This is how amazing this woman is. She is the mother of 10.
That's right.
And she is also she has worked at every television station in Channel 4 for a long, long time.
I get around.
She's going to be going to Channel 5. We'll get to your co-anchor in a minute, which is the greatest TV name I've ever heard. But ladies and gentlemen, she's here. She's Angie Golf.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the Oh My Golf podcast launched last Friday. The first three, it's phenomenal. It's fantastic. The first 3 episodes are now available, including interviews. The one that I watched with
with Alex Smith, and you also have the Real Housewives of Potomac's Giselle Bryant, who will be on the show. And these are available on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. I know, Oscar, you are very excited about the Oh My Golf podcast that's associated with Podcast Village.
Yes,
We could not be more
a Podcast Village production. Mike, you could have said it best. When Angie contacted us, I would say roughly a year ago of the idea of producing a podcast, and just the idea. Yeah. Most people have an idea, and Mike, you know, the world is full of great ideas, but you have to actually execute them at times.
Yes.
For her to execute this while she was navigating her next steps in her career, in my eyes, is something that most can't handle, most don't do. And Mike, as you've seen from the production, as we discussed yesterday briefly on the phone, it is top notch. For us to put something like that on the air, but also to work with the talent like Angie to bring the Oh My Golf show to fruition, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Well,
yes, go ahead.
Well, after Friday, I thought I was going to be banned after Rob referred to me as a severe editor.
Because she's doing television, essentially, Mike. Yeah. She's doing
Well, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing. Now, let me add to this that after a brief hiatus, Angie returns to TV on July 8th in our nation's capital. She will be joining Fox 5 DC at 4 p.m. Eastern. And here's my favorite part. She will be co-anchoring the station's 4 p.m. newscast with Blake McCoy. Has there ever been... I've never seen Blake McCoy. I've never met Blake McCoy, but I'll tell you that name.
A handsome man, Mike. A handsome man.
Hi, this is Blake McCoy. Blake McCoy. Blake McCoy.
This is one of the
high.
rare instances where Mike is launching an impression of someone he's never seen or heard.
Blake McCoy. Hi, Warren. For some reason, it's a Simpsons voice. I can't help it.
It's almost as good as Ted Baxter.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Well, the guy definitely has abs.
Oh, yeah.
My name's Blake McCoy. I like a good glass of scotch. And my little dog Baxter here. No, I'm sorry. No, he is not Ron Burgundy.
No.
But anyway, you're also, now here's I want to ask you about this, Angie. You're going to be serving as the co-host of Like It or Not, weeknights at 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. Now, you are, I know you're a workaholic. You work your butt off. But is this going to be, I have no idea. What is this show going to be, Like It or Not? Is it going to be a variety type thing? Are you bringing back local cool TV? I mean, what's going on?
Well, I mean, I am returning to TV, so yes.
Are you going to keep those glasses on for the entire time?
They say happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah.
For your birthday.
I can't see with our camera. I can't see.
Oh,
no,
you can't
I
see
can't.
this?
No, we have a terrible. I have the worst camera in the world for seeing.
Mike,
our camera for the podcast with these is state of the art. The camera of
Mike,
there you go.
I brought
Look
you
at
a cake.
That. Oh my God, that is beautiful.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
90.
It's got your age on it.
90 years old. Oh,
my God,
you remember.
That
Hello, Angie.
So sorry about
there
that.
You go.
So sorry.
Right, Angie. This is exciting. This is you brought me a cake. You found the time. I don't know to bake.
I know. Yes, with Safeway.
Wow, this is so. Oh my
Nothing
God.
says I love you like sheet cake. So.
Oh, that's delightful. And share it with the boys over there. That's awesome. And
that's very nice of you.
It is thoughtful.
Mike,
and everybody reached out. All my coworkers reached out to me this weekend.
Maddie even reached out?
Maddie reached out.
Wow.
Yeah, Maddie reached out.
Pony?
Yeah.
And she hates
Pony
pretzels.
reached out. Pony reached out. Yeah, absolutely.
Non-communicative Pony?
That's amazing.
Michael McIntosh called me.
No.
He called
No, he didn't.
you?
I'm lying about that. No, he didn't do that. No.
He's not a big
Did he
talker.
text you at least?
No. No.
Did he hide in the
scared.
bushes
He's
outside your
scared.
house?
Yeah, he did.
Who gave you the best greeting out of your coworkers?
Well, I hate to blow smoke up your ass, Oscar, but I got a call from you. I got an actual phone call from you. So that
weird.
was
Why
that
are you
was
so
nice.
soft all the time? You need to tighten up. Ever since I started.
Well, I'm soft? Why would you say that?
Because
I'm sweet and nice?
You're like
Sweet and
John
nice.
Juan. You're like the John Juan of Podcast Village.
My favorite exchange, and it wasn't the best, but it was my favorite, was with Maddie, Saturday afternoon, 3:45. Maddie writes, "Happy birthday, Mike." I said, "Thanks, Maddie. I really appreciate you reaching out to the elderly." And then Maddie's response was, "I do what I can."
That's
which
funny.
is
That's
just
good.
simple,
That's funny.
and that's
That
why
is
Maddie
funny.
works here
That is
well, and
funny.
I like that. But it was nice. It was a very, very nice birthday weekend, and we enjoyed ourselves. And I should I get it out of the way, Oscar? What I previewed with you?
This is
Angie, I want you to know before I start this, I'm not a monster. I'm not a monster. I'm a nice person. I love my family. I love what my family means to me. The greatest experience that I had.
Oh my God.
Was my family being with me. That was and everybody that meant anything to me and my family was here. All three of my children were under the same roof,
Awesome.
which is. That's when I am truly the happiest person in the world. And so we got done taping our show on Thursday, and I unfortunately I get migraines up here for some reason. I still don't know why. Maybe it's the big one. But anyway, my daughter. So I was having a lie down like in the middle of the day, and my wife had ducked out and gone to the airport and picked up my oldest daughter, Catherine, and brought her in. And of course, I woke up at that point. I'm like, oh my God, you're here.
Yeah.
It was just a great surprise. Then that night we're hanging out, and Friday on Saturday morning, I guess they've been sneaking around behind my back all weekend long. And Saturday morning, all three of my kids came in, and I didn't know that my daughter Elizabeth had flown in the night before. They had made me go to up to bed around 10:30 to say, we're doing stuff down here. You go to bed. Do not come out. That's it. Well, I didn't realize they were leaving the house and they were going to pick up my daughter at the airport. So Saturday morning, the day of my birthday, all three of my kids came in and sang
that's
happy birthday to me, which is just about as good as it gets. It's spectacular.
Yeah, that's
it's
great.
priceless. There's nothing better. And Carla leaned over to me, gave me a kiss, and said, this is your birthday present. I brought them both in for you. That's fantastic. So then the family was here. I'm not a monster.
Not a monster. This is what
I
we
said
must
this to
underscore.
Oscar's the only one that got the real truth. He really because Oscar knows how much of a monster I am, and so.
But Mike, you're not.
But I am. I cannot change who I am. I cannot change my level of selfishness. I can't. I'm to do this job for as long as I've done it.
Somewhat of a
you
narcissist.
You have to be a narcissist. You have to be a little bit of a child.
Yes.
You have to be a little bit of a kid. And so don't get me wrong. The greatest thing in the world, if you'd ask me, what do you want more than anything? I want my kids here. That was all that mattered. Then after that wonderful experience dies down a little bit, I was like, okay. And then, everybody on their birthday, especially a milestone birthday, would like to have, some paper with wrapping and open something up. Yeah. And I said, how was your birthday? I said, it was great. I said, I'm just still waiting for, the opener, the little opener, and I'm sorry, but I was, and I'm still, I might be still a little bit now. And I alluded to that very briefly with my wife, but then she was going to go full nuclear on me with that. You said, how dare you bet. And so I turned away from it. But then Oscar called and said, how was your birthday? I said, it's good. The whole family came in. They said, I didn't get anything. That's it. I'm sorry, but I mean, that's what I did. No, I'm sorry. I know. Yeah, yes. I'm a monster. I'm admitting it. I admit it here. Now, I got wonderful gifts, like gift certificates from certain listeners that they know who they are.
Yes,
I've communicated with them personally, who are phenomenal, who are fantastic. But the idea of I am still that little boy that wants the present under the tree.
Sure.
I am still that little boy that wants the ribbon and wants to open up the golf club or something like that.
I heard it in your voice. We spoke this morning on the phone, and I heard it in your voice. I said, it was so great that your daughters were there. And you said, yeah.
No, I didn't. It was great that my daughter was here, and we'll talk about her.
Yeah, plural.
It was great that Elizabeth was here and Catherine was here on her water fast. It was great that she was here. It was fantastic, and everybody, and then a wonderful party at my sister's place up here,
look at
which
that.
was spectacular. And my sister's children gave me a gift. My niece's children, her daughter Amelia, gave me a beautiful pot for a plant with sea glass.
Beautiful.
That she
That's
made
nice.
herself
which is downstairs, which is beautiful. That my brother-in-law gave me a gag gift, which was hysterical, which was a picture that my parents, God rest their souls, hung up in our childhood home of their dog. And when I moved out, they replaced my picture on the wall with the dog's picture.
Oh, that's great.
And Paul wrote me a letter about it. It was I laughed my ass off. It was fantastic. My niece and her husband gave me a lovely book, a Maine book up here. And then he scored me some tickets for Red Sox tickets for my golf buddies at the end of the month. It was great. It was great. So that the partially Chris side stepped up, and my daughters were here, and they and Carla was here, and they gave me lovely cards.
Cards
are
great.
It was wonderful. It was fantastic.
Do you
fantastic? So I'm a monster, and I'm not playing. But I share my innermost beliefs with Oscar. You know, just the one. I'm sorry about this, and I'm sorry. I wanted a thing.
What did you want? What thing?
I don't know, Angie. I wanted a thing. I wanted a thing.
He wanted,
and I know I'm a prick for this. I know that there are people out there going, "You incredible soulless prick." I'm sorry. That's it. But by the way, it didn't ruin my birthday. My birthday was spectacular.
Good.
But there was a cloud.
Because to have
there was one little cloud that followed you around.
Yeah, Mike,
I don't have my backdrop in it yet.
It's like
Oscar,
Ash Wednesday,
God damn
Mike.
it, I don't have my backdrop yet.
It's like Ash
I have
Wednesday.
an update.
Oh, good.
We'll talk off air. And I have an update on
is
your
that a
backdrop.
garbage bag behind him?
No. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. And Aunt Ms. Goff is here, and I'm doing
This is embarrassing.
I'm doing a show in front of a bed sheet from the dollar store because they don't have it because it's ridiculous. The Mike O'Mara logo.
You can see through the sheet. Is what you're saying?
It's like burlap. It's like a burlap
Right.
bed sheet.
So I got off the phone with you.
This is the place where I think I'm totally honest, and I know I don't come off.
And
very
Shannon
well.
says, "What's wrong?" And because she could tell that I had a bit of a call with you,
right?
And I said, "Mike's not happy about his birthday." And then she said,
No, don't say that. Please don't say that. Just don't put it that way.
No,
that'll be used against me.
This
I know
actually-
she's listening. I know she's probably listening right now. She's out there with my
Don
kid somewhere.
Gatto is not happy about his birthday.
Don Gatto was, by the way, Don Gatto was a 15 at the birthday
he
party.
was?
Don
Yeah.
Gatto performed both Puff the Magic Dragon and Senor Don Gatto.
Oh, wow.
At the
Killed.
top of his lungs at the
Wow.
family dinner. And I was sitting there going, "Oh, my boy.
Wow.
My boy."
performer. A true Joan Crawford
phenomenal.
moment.
Phenomenal. It was not a Joan Crawford moment. But do you understand? This is my problem. This
You
is
should probably
embarrassing.
ask Angie from a woman's perspective and a
Right.
colleague's perspective.
I know what she thinks. I see her face. I can see her even with that bad camera. I can see her face. You know, I know it's monstrous, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, but I mean that's a nice gift. I'm pretty bad. I don't even do cards sometimes.
Yeah.
So
okay. All right.
yeah,
okay.
I just
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the card
I
was
feel like
fantastic.
that's
What do you
like
get
going
your
all
husband?
out.
What do you get your husband?
I can't say that here.
Thanks for that moment. You know what? After all these years, God bless you. You still give us that kind of moment. You still give us that kind of moment, which, by the way, that sets me for the whole day. I will be skipping through my day after
Just
that
think
comment.
like 8th grade. I mean, it's the easiest thing to give. Yeah.
Like like what somebody would want him through.
Can I show you?
that? Yes.
Hold on.
Okay.
My wife made me a homemade card. It's right in back of me. I'm not going to go grab it right now.
All right.
Oh my
Turning 60 is nothing to Snickers about, and she puts a Snickers candy bar. She got it on. She made it on Pinterest.
That's fun.
Your mind will play Twix on you, and it's all candy bars.
Well, that's good.
That's so cute.
Which is what you
Isn't
want.
that phenomenal? Yeah, that's beautiful. What, did I just want candy? I'm doing the best I can.
I said to Shannon, I said,
yes.
Somebody.
By the way, I have a feeling I'm so embarrassed right now.
You shouldn't be, Mike. You shouldn't
I
be
feel good
because
about myself.
You're helping a lot of men out that are going through the same thing or will. And this is really foreshadowing for my wife.
And by the way, when Angie said that about the gift for her husband,
that's a different
didn't we
type of
all
gift.
have like that moment?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Sure.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where we all went.
Yeah,
Angie,
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay. All right. Good. I wanted to make double sure. You know what? Start the show, Rob.
Checking in live from the deck of the Jack Tar.
Do you know that Pony has something peculiar and unexpected in his car at all times?
So I got an inflatable fishing kayak.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I never thought I'd get a gone fishing from this guy.
Not like going down the pond chasing bluegills or tommycocks.
You don't even eat them?
I mean, I don't want to eat a dirty Fairfax fish.
Bad fish.
I'll eat like flounder if I'm like surf fishing in Virginia Beach.
Caught you a delicious bass.
This shark will swallow you whole.
Whether you're the skipper on the deck of the Jack Tar or the SS Caballito.
Small horse.
The Mike O'Mara Show Shopping Center has everything you need for your next fishing expedition.
1 case of apricot brandy. Champagne, Iranian caviar, and don't forget the color TV.
Click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com, and as we say on the high seas,
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
The best of O'Mara.
Without further ado, let's open up the audio vault for today. This is Friday, Jan 30, 2015. Rob Spiewak.
Everybody in my age and even a little older always complains what MTV used to be. They used to show videos. They used to just play music. Well, I can think back. I think one of the turning points is when they started to roll out the old VJs and bring in the new ones. Do you remember when Kennedy, the VJ, was a big deal?
Yes. Kennedy, yeah.
With her glasses.
Yeah,
and she
red
was
hair.
sort of a freakish dresser.
Yes.
Very cool. She has just gotten a new show on Fox Business. It's called Kennedy.
She's the liberal voice on a lot of the Fox shows,
And
right?
she has reinvented herself where she looks like a classy dame now. And they've debuted this new show, Kennedy. One of her first guests, Shepard Smith. And Shep really never takes it upon himself to not make things awkward. Check out what the direction this goes right away.
Whether it's a war, a celebrity death, or some cataclysmic weather event, I get down on my knees and I'm thankful for your existence because I love watching you cover breaking news.
The thought of you on your knees is a wonderful one. We love calamity.
We do.
Congratulations on the new show. This is awesome.
I know, Chef. Isn't this legit?
I'm so excited.
Any advice for me for the new show?
Wear less clothes. That's what I would suggest. I like your style a lot. You know, I like to go out and
Hold, stop tape. Hold on. Haven't there been rumors abounding for years that Shepard Smith is gay? Isn't that? I mean, I don't know. Hasn't that circulated?
I thought the rumor was that he was sort of a hound.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Poon hound.
Yeah. Oh no, boys! I have watched many internet stories about Shepard Smith. I know
maybe that was on your left wing.
Google it.
Mac, Shepard Smith is Shepard Smith gay? Google it right now. All right, fast as your little sick fingers can.
Yeah.
Sick fingers back to the table.
I think part of the great.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right. How Fox News shoved. You're right. Mike is absolutely right. This isn't his left-wing liberal agenda. Let's talk about this. It says, first hit that comes up on Gawker.com, how Fox News shoved Shepard Smith back into the closet. And now he's over the top.
Yes.
Get on your knees. Take our clothes off.
Doff my cap to thee. I did not have any idea.
Come on, boy.
Yes. Nice work.
One. We love calamity, as you know.
We do.
Congratulations on the new show. This is awesome.
I know, Chef. Isn't this legit?
I'm so excited.
Any advice for me for the new show?
Wear less clothes. That's what I would suggest. I like your style a lot. You know, I like to go out to the bars with you and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think part of the great charm of you is your wardrobe, and I love it.
You make me sound like I wear tube tops and hot pants when we go out. Okay.
That was his tell.
See the little tell right there.
No straight man says wardrobe.
And I love, and incidentally, I love Shepard Smith. And the big story is that he's being strong-armed, perhaps by Fox, to keep his sexuality under wraps, which is not a good thing. And I think Shepard Smith's the best thing on Fox. I have always thought that, absolutely.
The only thing on Fox. John McCain was very fussy yesterday, Mike.
Really?
They had Henry Kissinger.
This is great.
Henry Kissinger was on Capitol Hill to testify, and somehow protesters from an anti-war group called Code Pink, actually got into the hearing, and they were chanting "War Crimes, Henry Kissinger," and John McCain was not hearing any of it.
I've been a member of this committee for many years, and I have never seen anything as disgraceful and outrageous and despicable as the last demonstration that just took place about, you're going to have to shut up or I'm going to have you arrested. If we can't get the Capitol Hill police in here immediately, get out of here, you low-life scum.
Yikes!
Wow!
And if you missed that quote, if you missed that quote,
get out of here, you low-life scum.
That's right. And they replied with,
"This is good news, people."
But that was a little bit real there. And also, George Shultz was testifying to defend Mr. Kissinger.
Yeah, it's also this is the thing. I respect this country simply because you can do that sort of thing, right? You can walk in there and you can protest. This is what this country's built on. And in some countries, you don't get to do that, or you get murdered.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Like
And
that, right?
and I think that you have to be.
If you're gonna be up there, don't look like a bunch of hacks with your homemade signs.
Do it right. Do it right.
Do it with some coordination. Don't look like little kids whining.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Because
George Shultz, incidentally, who is he? You might want to know. He was a sergeant in the German army.
So he knows about war crime.
He knows about war crime. Sergeant Schultz.
Can you name this pop singer? Someone's releasing an album. Can you name this singer? I'm open this to the floor. Pretty.
Oh my God. Sorry for the cats that are listening.
Any guesses? Any takers?
Tony Bennett.
It is not Tony Bennett.
Orson Welles.
No. Mike, this is Jeff Bridges, who is releasing an album of ambient songs and him chanting "To Go to Sleep By." And he has a Super Bowl ad for it. So
has anybody figured out about his mouth where everything is like this now, I don't know. I'm gonna play another Western character so that I don't need you. I'd like to know if he had any kind of oral cancer.
Like
a movie I loved as a kid, I never understood because I think I was too young, and I'd like to go back now. Is the Fabulous Baker Boys?
Great movie.
Fantastic!
Right?
He's a different human being. It's just, but you'll notice that it started with when he played Bad Blake in the movie. I'm not sure what the title of the movie was, but then he made the science fiction movie where he's talking like that the whole time. And then you see him when he's on a show, and he still has this way of speaking. I'd like to get that
Crazy
answer.
Heart.
I think
Crazy Heart.
You know what I think it is, Mike? It's a bad case of ingrown beard.
Ingrown beard. and now he's just going.
Well, the Super Bowl is this weekend. We will see you all at Jimmy's at 4 o'clock on Sunday. The big ads are being released. This is my favorite one. Letterman broke this on his show. This is a great big-budget Super Bowl ad.
I gotta say, this is an amazing product. I've tried a lot of things, but this is by far the best.
Buy one today from the internet.
You'll be glad you did.
That is your magic.
Want more? Make sure you check out The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.